What's something you learned, embarrassingly late, in life? When people say quote unquote, I thought they were saying quote unquote. I live near the hospital for joint diseases. When I was a kid, I thought it was a special hospital for people who had two different diseases at the same time. That a prostitute doesn't actually sell a piece of their body. Backstory. My mom and I were watching the scene from Titanic where Jack tells Rose that he painted a one-legged prostitute. I asked my mom what a prostitute was and she told me, it's someone who sells their body for money. I could not fathom why someone would sell their leg for like $30. Coca and cocoa are two different plants, not one magical organism lol. My sister was in her 50s when she found out the meaning of "you have an addictive personality." She thought after all these years of therapy that it meant that people were addicted to her personality. We laugh hysterically when we talk about this. In a very sad way. Let me tell you about how I thought you were awarded a Pulitzer Prize. Until I was in school for environmental studies, I thought "morning dove" was "morning dove." I usually heard them calling in the mornings. So, morning made sense to me. I was taught it's fine to flush tampons down the toilet, and would even flush pads and sponges when I'd clean the bathroom. I didn't learn that it was a huge no-no until sometime in my mid to late 20s. I'm surprised the pipes at the house I grew up in weren't constantly exploding. I thought that prima donna was prima donna, and that it meant everything before the singer Madonna, and just assumed she was some kind of universal queen. When I was a teenager, I posted a status online that said I was jacking off. I thought that meant you were just bored and wasting time. Until my older sister messaged me, horrified, that it's not Chester drawers, but a chest of drawers, lol. I learned that pork and beans are not called cowboy beans. I was 18 and asked a grocery store clerk to help me find the cowboy beans. We were looking everywhere and I was getting frustrated because I know that every store carries these beans. After a while I pick up a pork and beans can with a picture and say, "See? It looks just like this." He says, "You mean pork and beans?" Then I realized that my mom called them that so that I would eat them. The look of disappointment from that grocery store clerk haunts me to this day. Things aren't supposed to start to get blurry at about 15-20 feet. Learned I needed glasses at like 26 from one of these threads. Yes, people, you are supposed to be able to see individual leaves on trees. Hope someone else can be helped like I was. Just this week I found out about the little button on the back of the socket driver that pushes the socket off. I have owned the same socket set for about 30 years. And I have a dedicated screwdriver that I keep with my sockets and use to pry them off when I'm done using them. I will be 55 years old soon. That bonsai are not a species of tree, but a way to grow them. Any tree can be a bonsai. This is something my little sister did through high school. We're about 8 years apart, so we never overlapped in school. She's always been a straight A student. And I found out she worked extra hard because she wanted to catch up to me in school. So we could be in school at the same time. I almost cried. I was like 22, working at a restaurant making myself a salad. And I asked the chef for bumps and he stared at me for like 60 solid seconds trying to figure out what I wanted. I explained to him I wanted bumps for my salad. I have all the rest of the toppings but now needed bumps. Guys, my family told me croutons were called bumps my entire life. I called my dad that night and confirmed that bumps are indeed actually called croutons. Not me but my mom. Waiting for the shower to be warm before stepping in. She grew up with a bathtub most of her life, and didn't get a shower until she moved out of my grandparents' place in her 20s. She was apparently talking to a coworker about the winter weather one morning. While lamenting, she goes, "And don't you just hate getting into a cold shower on these cold days? It takes so long for the water to get warm." Quote, coworker, Cheryl, you know you can just wait until the water gets warm. Then hop in. I thought that horses had toes until I was 22. I thought the hoof was a horseshoe, and the toes were tucked inside. How did I learn how wrong I was? You ask? I was walking past a cavalry museum and saw a horse statue and loudly remarked, "It must hurt so bad when they fold a horse's toes to put them into the shoe." Dozens of horse enthusiasts turned and looked at me with wild bewilderment in their eyes. You don't have to rip the plastic top off of your new deodorant with your teeth or pliers or anything. You can just turn the base until it comes up enough to just take it off.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Heracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.